A killer amongst healers. The story of Efren Saldivar, the Glendale Adventist Medical Center, a place of healing, comfort, and hope. But in the late 1990s, a shadow fell over this sanctuary, a shadow cast by a man entrusted with the very breath of his patients. His name was Efren Saldivar, a respiratory therapist, a trusted caregiver, but behind his unassuming facade lurked a dark secret. Saldivar was no angel of mercy, he was an angel of death, a predator in scrubs who preyed on the vulnerable, silencing their breaths forever. This is the story of his crimes, his victims, and the fight for justice. This is a story that chills the very core of our trust in those who swear to do no harm. The making of an angel of death. Efren Saldivar's journey into darkness began in the border town of Brownsville, Texas. Born in 1969, his childhood was a mix of strict religious upbringing and a longing to fit in. His mother, Isaura, a devout Jehovah's Witness, instilled in him a strong moral code, a stark contrast to the darkness that would later consume him. Despite being outgoing, Saldivar struggled to find his place. He drifted through life, lacking direction. When he stumbled upon respiratory therapy, it wasn't out of a passion for healing. He was drawn to the uniform, the authority it represented. This seemingly insignificant detail foreshadowed the dangerous allure power would hold over him. Whispers in the halls, early suspicions, and missed opportunities. At Glendale Adventist, Saldivar blended in, an unremarkable presence in the bustling hospital. But beneath the surface, darkness was brewing. Whispers of a magic syringe and unexplained deaths during his shifts began to circulate. Colleagues noticed a pattern. Patients, often already frail and clinging to life, seemed to slip away with alarming frequency when Saldivar was on duty. Fear and uncertainty gripped the staff. An internal investigation was launched in 1997. However, concrete evidence remained elusive. The investigation was inconclusive. Little did they know that a monster walked among them, hidden in plain sight. The missed opportunity to stop Saldivar would have devastating consequences. A chilling glimpse into a killer's mind. March 3, 1998. A day etched in the annals of criminal history. Efren Saldivar, consumed by guilt and a desire to unburden himself, walked into the Los Angeles Police Department. What followed sent shockwaves through the city and beyond. Saldivar confessed to murdering as many as 50 patients under his care. His weapon of choice was lethal injections of Pavilon and succinylcholine chloride, powerful muscle relaxants capable of stopping a heart in minutes. His victims were the elderly, the weak, those he deemed beyond saving. He claimed he was an angel of mercy, ending their suffering, but his words rang hollow, a chilling glimpse into the mind of a cold-blooded killer. Doubts and retractions. Saldivar's confession sent a collective shudder down the spines of investigators. Could this unassuming man truly be responsible for so many deaths? The sheer scale of his alleged crimes seemed almost unfathomable. Yet, there it was, spoken in his own words. Then, a shocking turn of events. In a televised interview, Saldivar recanted his confession. He claimed he had fabricated the entire story, driven by depression and suicidal thoughts. He wanted to be caught, to face the ultimate punishment. The confession, he insisted, was a desperate cry for help, a twisted attempt to orchestrate his own demise. The world watched in disbelief as doubt clouded the case. Had a serial killer outsmarted the system, or was an innocent man on the verge of being wrongly condemned? The investigation and exhumations. The investigation into Saldivar's claims became a race against time, a desperate search for truth amidst a web of contradictions. The authorities faced a daunting task. Could they corroborate the confessions of a self-proclaimed liar? Exhumations were ordered for 20 patients who died under Saldivar's watch. The bodies, some buried for years, held the key to unlocking the truth. The pressure mounted as forensic experts meticulously analyzed tissue samples, searching for any trace of the lethal drugs Saldivar claimed to have used. The trial and sentencing of Efren Saldivar. The trial of Efren Saldivar was a media spectacle, a macabre drama that captivated the nation. The prosecution presented a mountain of evidence. Toxicological reports confirmed the presence of lethal doses of Pavilon in 6 exhumed bodies. Colleagues testified to their suspicions, recounting the string of unexplained deaths during Saldivar's shifts. Faced with overwhelming evidence, Saldivar, in a stunning turn of events, struck a deal. He pleaded guilty to 6 counts of murder and 1 count of attempted murder. The families of the victims, haunted by the knowledge that their loved ones' final moments were stolen by a trusted caregiver, watched as justice was served. Saldivar was sentenced to 7 consecutive life terms without the possibility of parole. He would spend the rest of his days behind bars, his crimes forever etched in the annals of medical history. The Saldivar case sent shockwaves through Glendale Adventist Medical Center, shaking the institution to its core. The hospital, once a beacon of hope, grappled with the horrifying realization that a killer had operated within its walls for years. In the wake of the scandal, the hospital faced a wave of lawsuits from outraged families demanding accountability. Glendale Adventist responded swiftly, implementing sweeping reforms to prevent a similar tragedy from ever happening again. Stricter drug protocols were put in place along with enhanced security measures and increased scrutiny of employee backgrounds. The hospital vowed to regain the trust of the community, but the scars of Saldivar's crimes would linger for years to come.